So in this video, I'm going to talk about the email engagement feature within Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales. And effectively what this allows you to do is send an email from the system and understand how somebody's interacted with it. So have they opened it? Have they opened links? Have they opened attachments? So it's kind of replicating features that are available on mass email campaigns, but it's designed to allow you to do that on single emails that you send out. So let's go into the system. I'll show you how that works. So I'm in a contacts area at the moment. Specifically, I'm in a test contact record, and you can see I've got my timeline view open. So if I wanted to send an email, I'll just click plus and select a new email that I'm going to create here. And you have to enable email engagement. I'll show you in a bit how to do that, but it's very simple to set that up in the background. And when you do that, you get some new areas show. So this is my email compose. I can put this in as a test email, and then I can write the body of my text. Test. So we compose that. I could have used a template if I wanted to. Regard. I'll try that again. I could have used a template if I wanted to, and there are actually good reasons for doing that, which I'm going to touch on a little bit later. But the kind of areas that are interesting us now is, do we want the recipient activity to be followed or not? Now I've enabled it, it's assuming I do, so I'd need to flag that to do not follow. I can schedule the email to be sent at a later time, so it might be that maybe I'm working on this first thing in the morning, late at night, or the person I'm sending to is in a different time zone. I might not want it to go out at the time I'm composing that email, so I can schedule that for a later point. And then I can set a reminder, and I've got a few options around this. So I've got a condition: if I did not receive a reply by, or if the email is not opened by, or remind me anyway. So I've got some options around setting reminders around that, which I'm not going to do. I can also put in attachments and track whether those have been opened, and it does that by having a trackable link to documents stored in OneDrive or SharePoint. So that needs to be enabled. I haven't got that enabled at the moment. But effectively what happens is, now that is now tracking, and I'm going to go and send that out, and it's going to go out, and I'm going to get some engagement information, which I will show on an email I previously sent in a second. Just as an aside before I do that, if you are looking to get more out of your Dynamics CRM system and you want some guidance on best next steps, then feel very free to reach out. I'll put some links below. We're always happy to have a chat about your particular circumstances. Anyway, let's go and show how this sort of works through on an email I sent out before. So this is one I had sent out previously. And if I want to open that one up, I can see now that I've got some stats appearing across the bottom here in terms of when it was opened and did we follow any links. So as I say, it's tracking opens, whether we open the attachment, if we use that tracked link, it's any links that have been opened, and any replies. And then we've got a bit of an audit trail of when they happened. So that's how that all operates. In terms of how that's set up, this is managed within the Sales Insights settings area. So we just go into the back here, and there's an area here called email engagement. And it's really as simple as toggling it on and toggling it off. As I say, for sending out attachments, you do need to do a little bit of additional configuration, but once that's toggled on, the basics of it are activated. So that's how that works. I think the things you need to sort of bear in mind with this is Microsoft describes this as an approximation. In other words, you can't rely definitively on opens, for example, because opens can happen as a false positive, sometimes triggered by spam filters, as a false negative. You know, people think somebody haven't read it, but they have, because effectively you've got a pixel that's being downloaded. But if somebody has got the don't download images setting on, that's not going to come through. And certainly in terms of your links opened, it's not going to tell you which links have opened, it's going to tell you links have been opened, and it's not specifically going to tell you what attachments were opened, it's just going to tell you that attachments were opened. So there are some limitations on what information that's giving you, but there are some good use cases for it nonetheless. Though you can't absolutely rely on it, it should give you a bit of insight into whether people are, if you're outreaching, you're trying to break into a new account and sending an email out, it's going to give you some indication about whether those are getting through, whether the information you're sending through is being read. For example, you're sending out a proposal to somebody, again, it's giving you an indication whether they've got it, whether they've actually read it or not. And, all of this is useful in terms of helping encourage people to use the CRM system to send things out. Now, the other thing just to mention there, by the way, is it's only for email messages sent directly from within your CRM system. It's not going to do this for ones that are sent out via Outlook and linked back into the system. Another interesting aspect of this is how it fits in potentially with sequences. So sequences are a feature that allow you to set up automated workflows. And one of the options you've got is to base your automated workflows on things like opens and link follows within your emails using the email engagement piece. And I think that potentially gets quite interesting. The other thing which I touched on earlier is around templates. You can get stats pertaining to the templates that you've got within the system. I'm a great fan of using templates, and that sort of feedback on opens, etc., is quite a useful piece of information, and that perhaps allows you to A/B test and refine your templates just to make them more effective over time. So I'd say an interesting feature. You've obviously got to use it within the context of the legal compliance framework and which you're using it in. But I think it is something that's interesting. It is a enterprise or premium feature, so it's not necessarily available to everybody. But I think it's one of those things that if you're comfortable with it and you want to turn it on and use it and see how you get on with it, I think it's something that potentially could add a lot of value. Anyway, hopefully that's been useful. So this is one in a wide range of videos we've done on Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Sales, so feel free to check out the channel. Also, you've got suggested content ideas or you need any help in Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. Anyway, thanks very much for your time today. Hopefully see you again soon.